everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the podcast. That's the innovative name I actually came up with. So, right now I'm in this mood where I just want to fall in love, travel the world, discover new places. But I can't because I'm quarantining and stuff like this. So, I'm going to do a podcast by reliving my Erasmus Plus memory. And this is for all the people who can't travel and want to experience something like that. So, this time the podcast is called Perspective. It's called Perspective because Erasmus Plus is such kind of an experience where uh, you find yourself as Dory in the movie The Finding Nemo, or you find it's like the penguins in Madagascar or something like this. You know it's gonna be crazy as fuck, but you know it's gonna be really fun, and at the end of the day, you have a lot of memories to take back. So let's begin. So as soon as I reached Stibbyberry bus stop from my previous podcast, Julia, my HR and coordinator, came to pick me up. So she drove me all the way to Chentranidra, like a 5-10 minute drive, and then she showed me the place. The place was really beautiful. It was in the middle of the mountains, and the skies were really clear, so you could see like a trillion stars, which was the most epic thing of that place. And then she showed me the place where I'd be staying. It was a huge tent, and I was pretty satisfied because there was a lot of space that way. And I met the other interns and the staff members. So it was a long journey the whole day, and at night we had a really good dinner with lasagna and stuff, some good wine, and tiramisu for dessert. It was a very good dinner. So everything started off with a little bit Italian. Everybody was like "Come va, come stai," and you had to go like "Va bene." So it's like, how are you? And I'm really good. That's what it means. And then I got to know this was an agriturismo firm. So basically, for those of you who don't know what agriturismo is like a farm stay for a little bit of relaxation. Like if you're really busy with your city life, or you're just really busy and you just want to get away from everybody and relax with greenery around and everything like this is the place for you. And they had a sauna and everything. So after I reached, I had a good night's sleep, and I had like one day to take a tour around the whole place. This was a huge place, right? So they had like many plantations. They had like zucchinis, aubergine, tomatoes, potatoes, I don't know, peaches, apricots, roses, because they have a shop which makes rose marmalades, and they also had this waterfall straight out of the valley, and I think it was straight out of the valley. I'm very sure, and it was really cold, the water there, but once you take a dip there, you're like so refreshed, like it's like you get in and you come back enlightened or something like that. And they also had a CrossFit trail, which was very, very impressive because they used the environment to make it more special when you're working out. You feel like a Viking or something when you work out with all the wooden logs and the axes and stuff like that. So there are rings in between the nature, which is really amazing. That trail can be rented as well. I've seen some Boy Scouts rent it for camping and stuff. So it's a very beautiful place. It's also in right in the middle, like, of the mountain height wise, uh, and you have this really nice people around, and an amazing group of interns. So when I reached there were not much interns. There was just Paul and Sebastian and Michael. So these were the three interns I first met. Basically, Michael is from Ireland. He's an Irishman, around his late 30s, or mid 30s, as far as I remember. So the first question I asked him was, "Hey, dude, what kind of whiskey do you drink?" And he was like, "Oh no, no, I don't drink." And I was like, "Okay." Then the second thing was he doesn't even swear. I was like, "Okay, that's so opposite of being Irish, I think." But yeah, like so opposite of being what do you say, stereotypical Irish. So I let me correct myself there. And then what happened? We were getting along really well. We were also get I was also getting along with Paul and Sebastian. They were from Romania, and we started talking. We became really good friends. So my internship was about human resources, soft skills, and learning Italian, like a package of things. So for soft skills, we had to do different kind of jobs where we had to do gardening or watering the plants, learning Italian, and some things like waitressing or waitering for the tables or things like this, which would kind of improve your patience or like which would actually help you connect with people by doing Tai Chi or like yoga and things like this. So it these kind of activities get you well organized and stuff. And HR like human resources, and I also had to do some other work like that was for like personality development. So our first job was to like build tents, which was literally the first job, and that was really fun because I love doing all this kind of stuff like building tents and camping or making firewood or something like this. This has all been my cup of tea from the beginning. And after a while, we started working. We started becoming friends, and I started learning some Italian. So this is our first class in Italian. Like we're all sitting there, and my question was, how do you say I'm sexy and I know it in Italian? And then that was the first sentence I learned. Io sono sexy, io lo so. And after a while, we started getting into the rhythm of work. So me, Paul, and Sebastian, and even Michael, we all used to like hang out at this table. It was called the Piazzetta or Salotto. I don't remember, but we used to hang out there and like we used to like discuss music or movies and like the stuff, what usually people talk about, and it was all fun. Then two new interns came in. One of them was called Peline, who was a psychology student, and they came there for psychology. The other girl's name was Eileen. She came there for psychology as well. Both of them were from Turkey, and Paul and Sebastian from Romania. And those guys came by car, so they drove all the way from Romania, Romania to Italy. So we would sit in this table and talk about how was their road trip, and we would exchange music in a very different way, like nothing commercial, but something that I would know and nobody else would know, or something that they would know and nobody else would know. So I suggested them the song Lokata Kalaji, which is a Kannada song, like from Karnataka, India. So, there was always this exchange of music in movies which were not really well known but were really good. And we used to talk about the dating life, I mean, the dating culture in different countries, or, some things which we never really knew. And it was this table where all the conversations used to happen, sometimes gossiping, but not the toxic ones. It's just like for fun or for it to be something funny. And we then got to know that Pauline was or no is an actress and a model as well. So she's been on the Mercedes ad and stuff like this. We were so happy to like have a model around us and stuff. And then we started walking together, and it was not just about like walking together or it was not just about being friends here. Now we were all like living together, like in one place. And it was much more than that. We were just like really close friends. We became really close. And then you know what I liked the most about this internship was that I could learn Tai Chi and Kenjutsu. So Tai Chi and Kenjutsu are really interesting martial arts. It's all about training your mind, being calm, and stuff like this. So it was quite easy when you actually participate in one session of Tai Chi or Kenjutsu in the morning. It's so easy to get the work done for the whole day. So slowly I started implementing these lifestyle changes, which are really hard to like do it by yourself. Like for example, getting up early morning at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock every day was really hard. But I was trying my best to do that, and this is the most consistent I've ever been in my whole life. That's the thing I got from this internship, because everybody thinks Erasmus is all about partying and something or going crazy and things like this. But this Erasmus during the summer was not just about partying. There was partying, but there was so much more life to it. And the vibe was pretty chill because all the people there, especially my friends who were the other interns, had this vibe of like the 90s kids vibe. Back then when we didn't have much of technology, it was all about getting together in a friend's house or in the ground, just talking and having fun, like real face to face kind of thing. So it was more about that. We were all like of this kind of people. So we all fit in really well. And then we started walking and walking. So after walking for a long time, we really never went out. So we thought we should check out the other places as well. So it was me, Paul, and Sebastian. Also, Michael and Pelin were there. So we wanted to go to Chiavari, maybe do some grocery shopping and eat some pizza and stuff like that. So we went there. We started listening to some music in the car, and this guy goes like, "Dude, listen to this song. You might know it." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And he plays this song, "Chaiya Chaiya 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 Chaiya." Like this. It's a Bollywood song for those of you who don't know this. It's a Bollywood song from the 90s, I think. So he started playing the song and he started head nodding for it. I was like, okay. And it was a little bit funny at that point. And then we were going in this car, and this place is where the pesto sauce is like really famous. So we had an amazing pizza, and then we came back to Centro. So we were a little bit like excited about going to more places. The nearest destinations were Portofino and Cinque Terre, also Genoa. Genoa, like the place, the cities in the city was close by, and Nice and Monaco was close by too. Uh, so Paul and Sebastian actually planned on going to Monaco. So they went to Monaco by car. They gambled there. There was some huge casino there, so they just wanted to gamble, and that was fun. Then me and Michael went to Cinque Terre. Cinque Terre was also amazing because it's like five villages, one after the other, and you can't go by car. I'm not sure if you can go by car, but you can like hike all the way from the first village to the fifth village. It's like mountains, mountains, and the sea. Mountains, mountains, and the sea, and with colorful houses. So this is like a UNESCO site. And my favorite was Rio Maggiore, which was, or Rio Maggiore or something like that, which was really my favorite because the view is amazing, the beach is amazing, and they have parties at the hilltop, which is also superb. And that was also a good destination. And I think Pelin went to Portofino as well. You know that song. I found my love in Portofino. No, no, okay. I know my voice sucks. So after a night out, we came back, and we were just back to our regular routine of working and getting to the table, discussing, and things like this. So we had like cakes and cereal for breakfast, zucchini, aubergine, and pasta, bread, and everything for lunch. So this system, like the lunch or the dinner in Italy was really nice because you have a very long time for lunch or dinner. So you have like the starters, the appetizers, and then you have like these. You have bread and cheese, salads, and then you have fruits. Then you have like the main course, and after that you have half an hour later a dessert. So this place is meant for conversations, because it's nice to talk when you're having food, or it's nice to talk to other people. It's good to know stuff. It's good to learn Italian. It was the place for the conversation. And during this time, Paul and Sebastian were like, no, we can't eat this breakfast every day. It's so sweet and stuff. And Paul and Sebastian were like, we're gonna pull a barbecue party, you know. And so Paul and Sebastian call their, I mean, Sebastian calls his dad and he tells him that, we miss eating meat because they love meat so much. And after 2 or 3 days, like there's so much meat in Centro Nidra, so much meat. Like I think his dad sent it through his driver or something, and he was like so happy. And these this meat was fresh, like freshly cut meat. I think it was out of their farm or something. I'm not very sure, but he was telling me it's very fresh meat and stuff. So they took a whole day to make a barbecue, like pork, beef, chicken, anything you wanted. So they took a whole day for preparing this stuff, and it was McAway's birthday as well. So there was also a really good cake for that night's dinner, because there was this lady who was like making desserts after lunch or dinner, and she was really good at it. So she used to make tiramisu and like good cakes and pastries and stuff like that. So she made a cake for the birthday, and it was like his celebration, birthday celebration, and a proper barbecue night. And after this was over, I was just eating like there's no tomorrow or something. And then he started telling me this is what Romanian food is like, and he started explaining me things. And then he got a bottle of Palinka. So for those of you who don't know what's Palinka, Palinka is like a Romanian alcohol. Yeah, that's all I know. But it's pretty strong and good. That's also what I know. And we were just having fun and drinking that night. And then we dozed off. Then after a while, they banned drinking alcohol in Centro Anidra, which broke my heart, apparently, which broke everybody's heart. And that was really, really sad. So we started getting back to work, and we were working from like 9 to 10 o'clock. And I was taking a lot of Tai Chi classes, uh, because it was really fun. Like mastering your mind, keeping calm, not losing patience, and stuff like that. Because this was making me a better person, and it was kind of changing my lifestyle for me to get better things. So I really like Kenjutsu, this Japanese martial art. I like the way Japanese people think and strategize because the way they made up the rules for martial arts is it's so good. Like it's like you're training your mind and your body at the same time, which is a lot of tremendous effort. And they had to come up with really smart things to like make this happen. So I really respect that. And I was taught by this lady called Valentina. She was a really strong woman. Like she knew all the martial arts. She knew yoga and stuff on a very extreme level. So she used to run. She used to get up early in the morning, run in the mountains, and then come back and then teach us Tai Chi and stuff. So that way she was very determined and disciplined and stuff. So after all this was going on, then a new student came. Her name was Kohli, and she was from France. So as soon as she came, the first question I asked her was, "Do you have alcohol in your trunk?" Because she told me she came by a car, and that was my first question. I'm so sorry about it, but I'm still disappointed you don't have it. It was something like that. And when she came, she was talking in English with the French accent. I think it's really beautiful when French people or Italian people uh, talk in English with their accent. It's so beautiful. Like French is so gentle and stuff, and Italian is so musical. Like that's something that I really like. And yeah, I would constantly hear someone talking in that accent. So I think she was from around Paris. I think around, yeah, around Paris. And then the next day, we got back to work, and I was sitting in the human resource department. I was really interested in human resources. It was all about like organizing stuff, basically, but on a higher level. So I was, since there's like gardens around me and so much greenery around me and stuff like this, I wanted to actually learn gardening and farming and things like this. So to learn all this stuff, like I was so curious. So the I went to my HRN coordinator and I asked her to shift my job from being a human resource assistant to like agriculture, because I was really interested in doing this stuff, because that's one of my retirement plans, to have my own plantations and stuff. So she shifted me. She was like, okay, whatever you want to do. And after I went to the agricultural thing, I realized that Paul and Sebastian have worked their asses off to like make the whole potatoes and the aubergine and zucchinis and stuff. So I didn't know that, and they worked really hard there in the farm. I think they produced a lot of vegetables. I think I'm not sure which ones though, but they worked really hard. So when I went there, Kohli was there for agriculture as well. That's when I realized, okay, there are just two people now. And Eileen and Feline were there for psychology. Michael was there for digital marketing. So there were like so many people for so many different things. So that was the scene. And our coordinator was Giorgio. So Giorgio is an Italian guy who's in his 40s, and this guy is like really fun to hang out with. He's a savage dude. Like he's all macho and stuff, but like he's so funny with things and everything. And I think he follows Buddhism, uh, and I think he also reads Bhagavad Gita, the Italian version. So this guy was asking me about Rajasthan and Osho and stuff. So I was like, I don't know who Osho is. Uh, then I googled and I got to know he's some Indian guru. Uh, then later, what happened? Giorgio started teaching us how to dig stuff, or like how to remove the weeds without spoiling the plantations. Where do I step, and when is the right time to pluck the peaches or apricots, removed from the tree or something like this. So he was very informative, but he always used to speak in Italian, and Kohli used to speak Italian, but like with the French accent. So she used to translate it for me, and that's how the whole conversation used to go on. So one morning, on a regular day like this, uh, me and Kohli are working, uh, and even Pelin was there. So me, Kohli, and Pelin were just walking, and we were so bored, like because it's the same schedule every day, and we were kind of bored. And Giorgio was like, "Why don't we go to Borzanaska to my house, and I'll show you around." I was like, "Okay, that sounds good." So he went to my HR and he told her that he has some apricots and peaches in his house, which may be spoiled if he doesn't take them out today. So he'll get them for lunch and dinner. And he told her that he needs our help. So he took us to Borzanaska. Now, Borzanaska is a small town close to Centro. I think it's like a 30-40 minute drive downhill. So we went to Borzanaska, and it's a small but beautiful town, a really nice architecture, and really nice people. So we went to Borzanaska. The first place he takes us to is this gelato ice cream shop. We were like, okay, let's go, let's eat ice cream. And these ice creams were incredibly legit, dude. Though these guys make these ice creams so fresh by collecting these fruits early in the morning and then getting the fresh raspberries or blueberries and apricots, making the cream on that day. And they make everything on that day in the morning, and they sell it out by the whole day, it's a very beautiful shop. Like it looks very artsy, and gelato ice creams are lit as fuck. So we were eating gelato ice creams, and there was this lady I met in the bus before I came to Chentronidra. You'd understand this if you've heard my previous podcast. So she came to me, she was like, "Tutto bene," and I was like, "Va bene." And I knew some basic Italian by then, and I was talking to her, and kind of holding the conversation with the Italian I knew. So from the last time I met, I didn't even know squat, and after talking to her, she was really proud that I learned some Italian and stuff, and I was happy too. And after a while, we went to Giorgio's house. So now Giorgio's house is on the mountain, you know it's on his balcony has the view of the mountains. It's a very beautiful house. I think he stays alone there, and he has these apricots in his garden, peaches in his garden. He also had an axe. I was playing around with it, and then he took it away from me. I don't know why. Then this house was really beautiful. We collected the apricots and some blueberries, and then we drove back to Chentroanidra. So now this place was amazing. Giorgio was nice. He was telling us about Liguria, and about some stuff, uh, about some spiritual stuff and stuff. So he used to talk in Italian, but I always had someone who was translating it for me. So basically, when he's like this turtle in Finding Nemo, like who's all wise and stuff. who's had a life when they were young, you know. So very positive person, but really savage. So after a while, we had more interns coming in. We had this woman from Albania. So she was an she's an entrepreneur. She also had an agricultural farm, and her name was Ornella. And we had someone from Rome. Now, my friend Flavia, she's really close to me. So she's from Rome, and she calls me Chicho. So if you go to Rome during summer, you wouldn't actually meet someone from Rome. You'd most probably end up meeting another tourist, you know. So I was really lucky to find, not find, like, um, you know, make friends with someone actually who was born and brought up in Rome. Then we also had Rico. Rico was like this smart kid who came there for volunteering. So he would work in exchange for food and stay, you know, just to clear his mind and stuff like that. Then we had Burak. Burak was from Turkey, Fethiye. So the place where he's from, it's like this place for holidaying and, you know, enjoying the beach, water sports and things like this, surfing or deep sea diving and paragliding and stuff. So this guy comes from Fatia, and we became really close friends as well. He was also my roommate, so it was like this. Uh, then we also had another girl from. She was a Polish girl, but who studied in the UK in theater and stuff. So she came there for theater and soft skills. So that was it. We were all like a huge group, and everybody got along really well. Sometimes some people didn't agree, but it was a very very unique experience because everyone are from different parts of the world, you know. And that was the most amazing thing in this internship. Like, you get to see everybody's lifestyles, and you get to see how lives are in different places. At least you don't know the whole truth, but you all at least get a perception of each other's lives, you know. And it was much more than friendship because as I told you, we were all living together. Like, you know, it was much more close friend circle. And then uh, me and Flavia also used to talk a lot. Like every time we used to talk about stuff like poetry, philosophies. She used to teach me Italian, the Roman dialect, and you know, stuff like that. I like the Roman dialect. Like, you know, every time you use some or say something with the Roman dialect, you already feel proud. You know, that's got the vibe. The language has got the vibe there, and it's very similar to Latin. And we used to like always have fun. We used to discuss at the table. You know, the table was still the trend, where we used to come to the table. We used to talk about Turkey. We used to talk about France. We used to talk about Italy. We used to talk about India. We used to talk about the stereotypes. We used to talk about love. We used to talk about so many things. And this is all the stuff, like, you know, not a lot of people speak about in public or something. And this table had everything. Like, this table was like in India, what we say, it was our adda, you know. So the next day, not the next day, after a while, one day me and Kohli go to work with Eileen as well. So Eileen is like this really, really funny person. Like, she's like the Phoebe of our group, if you watch Friends. So she's so funny. Like 80% of the time, when in the internship, I remember just laughing with her. Like, you know, She was so funny. And what happened? I was just looking at the mountains and I was telling both of them that, dude, listen, we never went on the hilltop. Like, what if there's a town there? What if there's a beautiful town there? And what if it's all nice and stuff, you know? And they were like, ah, yeah, let's see if we get some time, we'll go there, maybe on this weekend or something. They also agreed. And then we had to come back to the farm during the evening after lunch. So we came back and it started drizzling. And Giorgio was there because he was the supervisor for agriculture and stuff. So Giorgio was like, you know what, it's gonna rain anyway. Why do you want to work? Let's go to Santo Stefano. And I was like, what is Santo Stefano? Like, where is it? And he was like, it's at the hilltop. It's a town at the hilltop. And Kohli and Eileen were looking at me like, whoa, dude, you just asked for this in the morning and look at this. Like, you know, I was like, yeah, if you believe in something, if you truly believe in something, it's always going to happen and stuff like that, you know. And so Giorgio took us. It was me, Kohli, uh, Eileen, and Michael. So it was the four of us, the five of us who went to Santo Stefano. It was a beautiful ride. It was raining and the mountains. It was all there like clouds and the vibe. You know, the vibe was like. Have you seen this video from Ed Sheeran? Perfect. Like that was the vibe. You know, but except it's not about love and stuff. It's about the traveling thing. And we were going and like talking about stuff, looking at the view. It was just so beautiful. And Giorgio is an amazing driver. He was ripping in those mountains because it, like, you know, and Michael was like freaking out because I don't know why he was just freaking out. So he took us to his friend's nursery, and they were speaking Italian too. So this nursery had flowers, and they also had a like a bakery-ish thing where they were selling yogurt, freshly made yogurt, cheese, and wine. You know, so they give us some wine, and they tell us that Giorgio is a very nice man, and Giorgio is like they are my really close friends, and you know all this. So we are talking on in this table, and we're drinking this amazing wine. So it was such a good wine, trust me. And the yogurt as well. The yogurt and cheese was also amazing. So what happened? We told him the wine is amazing and stuff. So he bought another bottle. Like there were like three or four bottles on the table already, and he got another bottle, and he was like, "Try this, try that." We started drinking the wines, and we really loved it, you know. So we asked him how much is a bottle because we wanted to buy it, and he was like, "It's just €4." So we were like, "Okay, that's good. So why don't we take some to our campus, you know?" But he was like, if you want a bottle of wine, don't worry. And he gave us like half a box of wines already, and he was like, no, that's for you. We were like, ah, no, 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 we want to pay. But he was like, no, you're my friends, and I can't do this. So then we got another box full of wines. We were telling him that it's for our friends and we want to gift them. So we bought some wines, and then we left from the place. We left from the place and we went to a restaurant. So when we went to the restaurant, the guy came back again driving a car, and he was like, "We wanted to give you something else," and he gives us yogurts, you know. And we were like, "Oh, that's so sweet of you," like, you know. We had this local kind of experience because of Giorgio. I really thank him for that. That's an experience I would never. It's not I would never, but it's such a rare thing to get, you know, usually. And it's very nice when locals are always helping out foreigners like this, or people who are visiting. And if you're listening to this podcast, and if you know someone is traveling in your country or in your place, please try to show them the things which is not commercialized, something real from your country, something real from your state, or things like this, something that is only available in your village, you know. um, that is what that is what really connects the world. That's how I feel, at least. And this restaurant was also amazing. They had this brick oven. They were making pizzas, and the pizza was like 4 to 6 euros. It was a town where it was all like pretty reasonable prices. I wouldn't say cheap, but there was also like the clouds in the city center, and you're walking in the middle of the clouds, and they had like this beautiful architecture. And there was this guy who was like singing Frank Sinatra songs, country music and stuff. So it was a beautiful place, and the view from the table, we had a view of all the mountains. And it looks very expensive, but it wasn't, and that's what I love the most here. Then Giorgio was like, "What do you want to do? There's no point going back now. Why don't we go to a concert today? There's some kind of a music concert." And this concert was not known through like social media or something. It was like on there were like it was on the internet somehow, but it was like on posters and stuff. So we went to this music concert. So we went to this music concert, and we there was like tables where you could sit down, and the whole town would come for the show. Like it's a very small town, less people, everybody knows everybody kind of a place. And these guys were like the rock stars of the town, of San Stefano. And these guys were really performing well, and the voice was good. That there was like an old lady singing on the vocals. There was also one young lady on the vocals, and there was like this main lead singer. So this guy was like dressed up very differently with a hat and like the jeans, or like the the cigarette kind of pants from the 70s or something. And he had like a V shirt, like V neck or something like this. And this guy was wearing these small little glasses, and he was singing, and he was like giving the pervy looks uh, to the audience and the vocalist. So this guy was like going on singing around with all this pervy kind of body language. And Michael looks at him and he's like, "Oh, look at this. Oh, look. Oh, look. This guy's like the 70s pimp." And we just started bursting out laughing. I couldn't control my laughter. We were all laughing, like the four of us. And Giorgio was laughing too. Like he didn't understand, but he was laughing too for some reason. And like we were so glad that nobody knew English at that point. And after a really good concert, we left and we came back to Chantronidra. So now we started liking the place. It kind of started feeling like home. It was not a place where I visited anymore. It's become a place where I'm staying in, you know, because at one point of time, you're no more a visitor. You're a person who's living there. And it was at that stage, and we were walking and walking and walking, and me and Flavia used to like talk some stories. I used to talk about uh, some stories, some horror stories, horror incidents that happened, or she used to tell me about some strange stories from Rome. And we used to learn the dialect or things like this. So one day, what happened this evening, we are all sitting at the table, and everybody's like, "I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep," and stuff. And we are like, "Dude, stay," and everybody was like, "We want to go." So Kohli was like, "Look at all these old people going to bed so early and all that." And me and Coco were there, Burak was there, and Flavia just finished her work and came to the table. So it was like the four of us, and we were like, uh, let's go around, let's just walk around the campus and stuff. So we were walking around the campus, We went till the plantations. It's like 500 to 800 meters to the plantations from the table. So we just walked in the dark and everything. But the stars and the moon was so bright that night that you could actually see a little bit. But so you don't even need a torch, you know. You can kind of get used to it. So we are walking. Burak and Kohli are walking in the front. Me and Flavia are walking behind. And then we walk slowly, slowly, and something moves in the bushes. We were like, oh, what the fuck is that? Me and Flavia looked at each other, and they both looked at each other. Kohli and Burak. They were in the front, like 10 meters in the front, and we were like behind them. So suddenly, out of nowhere, a wild boar comes in, and it starts running from here to there. And the first thing me and Flavia does is we start running. Like we drop the shit and we just start running behind. And Kohli and Burak were like holding each other and stuff. Like it was so funny, and they gave us a look after that. The look was like, you complete betrayed, you know, like it was about betrayal. That's all I can say. Then for 2 days, Burak was like, friends may let you down, friends may let you down, and stuff. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And after a while, we we all became like a big group of friends. It was very unique experience, and we all related to each other in some or the other way. And after all this while, like it was like uh, you kind of get used to the place you're in. So I'm adapted to this place now, and I realize I just have like 10 days to leave. So I'm like, okay, uh, even though the work was really hard, the experience was really nice, and I'm about to leave and stuff like this. So there was this church outside Chentronidra. We could always spot it from the table and the dinner table and stuff. So I was always curious, where is that church? I want to go there and find out what it is and stuff. So one evening I go to the office, and then Flavia was there. I was like, "Do you have to work or something?" She was like, "No, no." Uh, I was like, "I want to go to this church. Why don't we go there?" Then she was like, "Okay, yeah, we can go there." And when we were walking on the mountains, uh, me and Flavia were talking, and I was telling her that I'm going to leave, and I can't forget Italy. It's so beautiful and everything. So we were talking about this. It was a little bit nostalgic, and we were talking about different things, something philosophical and stuff. I'm more of that kind of a guy. You have deep conversations with. So we were walking and walking, and finally there's this animal on the road. I don't understand what it is. So she goes like, it's Procchione, Procchione. I'm like, oh, it's a porcupine. I thought it was a yeah, porcupine. But so I was very worried, like, where will that needle or something kind of affect us or something. But Procchione means raccoon. So Flavia was like, I want to touch it. I'm like, dude, relax. Like, let's just stay far. So I just moved a bit, and it just ran away. So I was like, okay, cool. And then we started walking, and then we went to this church. Now, from this church, there's a beautiful view of the mountains, beautiful view. And we were just there, like, reliving the whole internship and talking about stuff. So after a while, like, I was also very sentimental about leaving, and we left from there. We came back to Chantronidra, and my internship got over. I had to leave early because I had to like move into a flat in Kosice. So this time I couldn't go back from Bergamo. I wanted to go from Pisa. So I went all the way to Pisa, and then I saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and I remembered my classmate notebooks because there's this company called Classmate which makes notepads in India, and you have these pictures of Leaning Tower of Pisa, Colosseum, and stuff like that. Uh, you know, so I was looking at the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and I was like, oh, I used to look at my classmate notebooks and always think that when am I gonna visit here? And it was somewhat like a deja vu when I went there. Then I went to Vienna and came back to Kosice. So right now I may not be there physically, but whenever I want to, my mind can always go back to this beautiful experience I had in Italy, and the food, the culture, the language, uh, everything. I just like everything over there. And thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you felt the experience at least a little bit, and it's called perspectives for a reason, because I hope you can make any kind of picture in your head out of it, like however you think it is. And subscribe, please do subscribe. Also, share and like. Thanks a lot. Bye.